When you look at this extended time off, what was the objective as far as what you really wanted to take care of? Obviously, there's so many layers to things, but just big picture, where do you feel like you guys could take advantage of this time off?
Yeah, I think overall chemistry, team chemistry is something that you always want to continue to develop, throughout the season. And so I think the last 17 days we've been able to work on individual skill development. We kind of look at ourselves as a player development kind of program. So we had a lot of great time to work on each player's individual skill. More team chemistry, I think that's really important this time of year. And then just kind of the little things, taking care of the ball in possessions, being a better rebounding team. That was a little bit of our Achilles heel off and on in the preseason. So really kind of overall with an emphasis on those areas.
I was going to ask you about rebounding, and that's always been a staple in your program since you got here. Where do you feel is the shortcoming in so far through the preseason schedule? Is it spacing? Is it aggressiveness? Like, where do you feel that this team just hasn't quite gotten to where other teams have been?
I think it's the level of aggressiveness. I think it's, if we're not hitting, we're not pursuing. And you got to do one or the other. If you're going to, not pursue the ball, then you got to hit and your man can't get the ball. So I think it's a little bit of both. A lack of aggressiveness. I think that our guards at times think our posts are big, and so they're going to be able to, kind of gobble everything up, and they're not doing a great job, and the guards aren't doing a great job. So it's just everyone needs to do their role, but there's a level of aggressiveness at times that we definitely lack, and that needs to improve tremendously going into conference.
You talked about team chemistry and obviously hitting the road to take on UCLA. Can you just talk about how that might help on the road, being together at this time of year, the holidays coming up, kind of having that bond together on the road?
Yeah, not every one of our players is from Hawaii. So it's great to have a team that likes each other, they get along well, we can do some team bonding. It's kind of our Christmas celebration as a team, as a family here before they go home to their mainland families or back here to their Hawaii families. And so it's a great time to be on the road and play. The experience at UCLA is going to be one that I hope these girls don't forget. You don't play the number 2 team in the country all the time in a facility that has such history. And so I think for the girls, I hope they savor the moment. We know it's going to be a very challenging game. My goal is coaching them and talking to them is we need to continue to have confidence. We need to have fun in this game and really just embrace this opportunity and get ourselves ready for conference, because that's really when it matters. We know what UCLA is, they're a monster, right? So we need to go on there with the right mentality, Hawaii growth, Hawaii attitude, Hawaii excitement, and then get Hawaii ready for conference.
I wanted to ask you about her as far as when she got into the program. It was, I remember having a conversation with you. This girl can shoot the lights out. Her evolution as a basketball player within this program, what stands out to you most of just someone that went from pure shooter to now is a pure basketball player?
MeiLani's always been very level-headed, and that's something as a coach that you really like. She doesn't get too high, she doesn't get too low. We brought her in because she could shoot the ball, but what MeiLani will do for us on the boards, on the defensive end, the growth has been really fun to watch. I think the area, though, that I'm most impressed about and super proud of her is her ability to want to be a leader, to be the voice in our locker room, to tell people to get it together or praise people, when they need it. And so I think she's trying to kind of be the glue. And the other part of it is, even though she's a lights-out shooter, she was still a role player. And now we're asking her to grow that role into a little bit more of an impact player. And that's not an easy thing to do when your entire career you've been a shooting role player. So I think she has a lot of growth left. We're excited to see what she can do throughout the rest of this season. But it's embracing that challenge of more than just the role player shooter. We need her as an impact player at times.
First thing first is hitting the road to take on a top 5 team. The excitement level around a game like this, and what the experience means to you guys, but then also, I imagine when you're playing high school basketball, the dream was to go up against teams like this. So how special of an opportunity is this?
I think every game is a special opportunity for us. We just got to treat this game like it's a normal game and stick together, and when those lulls happen, to fight back.
We're just talking to coaches. She was talking about the evolution of this team, gelling together and being able to bond on the road, being able to gel on the court. how important is that at this time of the year? You've been around for long enough to understand how much that turns into wins at the end of the year, and so how much of a focus is that right now?
Yeah, during this time it's hard just because we know we're going home and spending time with family is a big key part, especially for me. Family time is my #1 priority, but we also have a game to play, and so game comes first before home time. So.
Talk a little bit about UCLA and obviously the challenge, immense challenge that is to go on the road and play them. Talk about what you guys need to do, in terms of stuff you're practicing right now, things that you guys are really focusing on, to be able to have a really good performance on Thursday.
Yeah, we just got to stick together. They have a pretty, they got a good group of girls, and I think as long as we stay together, we'll and fight back, we'll have a good chance.
Your own personal evolution of being a role player that's being looked at as come in and be a shooter, and then now you're evolving into come in and do everything. How much have you enjoyed that process?
It's been a journey. I love every second of it. My teammates have my back, I have their back, and that's how we play.
Has it been, how much work has it taken mentally to kind of break that mold of what you're asked to do in prior years and what you're being asked to do now? Because I imagine it's more mental than physical, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I think just knowing that my teammates trust me and the coaches trust me and my ability to do what I need to do, that really helps.
Coach talked a little bit about you becoming more vocal, more of a leader, setting by example. And how has that been, that process for you to take on that next step in this journey?
I've had some tough times, but my teammates get me out of it and I get them out of it. So I think we grow together, we lose together, we win together, we do everything together. So.